So I think a lot of the people, like you said, that yes, they need education, but also I just think they lack the real passion for the game. I'm not sure if they have it. Like, I'll just talk about myself really quick, right? Nobody in my family has soccer culture. Not one. Like African American, you know, kind of the some of the statistics and things that come up, like my parents got divorced, so single in a single parent household, ever since I was 6 or 7. I remember when I moved to North Carolina, it was the first time I saw kids kicking a ball. And for some reason, kids love to play soccer in that little town in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. At our school, when it was recess, it was soccer. People make teams, and it was pickup soccer on a gravel pitch. Everything that we talk about that kids were missing, it was that. And I remember I had to make this team called the Sidekicks because they were the travel team in our area. And I was 10 and I made their U12 team barely. And I was so happy. I like screamed in the hall and they had to like calm me down. I was so excited to make it. But all of my soccer experience, everything, I went and found it myself. Like if I had to find a team, I would go find it myself. I did everything. It was like passion that led to obsession, right? So I didn't have like I didn't, there's no father figure. There's no one. Like my family was like, "Why are you playing soccer? Why aren't you playing football? Why aren't you doing boxing?" There's all these different things, but it really drove me to say, I can't. I don't want to be regular like everyone else. Like if I love this game, I don't want to be like everyone else. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go overseas. Yeah, I'm gonna leave everything that I built in the States. Yeah, I'm gonna go do that. Which sounds crazy maybe to regular people. But to me, I was like, it makes sense because this game is what defines me, right? To a fault. Not saying it's not saying it's 100% right. And trust me, I hear it from my wife. She's like, "Oh my gosh, like you only care about soccer." And I'm like, that's not 100% true. You know what I mean? But I get what she means. Like it defines who I am, you
Yeah.
know? And I'm not saying everyone needs to be like me. I'm just trying to explain how someone who starts at ground zero with no like there was no games that I went and my dad like holding me up and I could sing the song. There was nothing to be where I am now, to be with the person who I am now about the game. So
You're a rare one. You're an outlier.
mm, probably, probably. I don't know. And I don't even know why. Maybe I'm a little bit of a contrarian, but I don't get how people can be okay or can feel right about themselves or right about anything that's happening or satisfied or I think a lot of people obviously they're doing there's some people with incredible who have incredible passion in the state. So let me not I'm not speaking about everyone. I'm just saying that after a while, I remember a coach told me he saw me coaching after I stopped yoga academy in the States. Um, I left for like a year. I was like in between Europe and the States, and then I came back to do it one more year, right? But most of our best players had gone to the DA, which was fine. And I told them, look, stay there. We don't have the best players. So I took a lot of players from, let's say B and C, even D teams, right? And really work with these kids, like put the same energy, even more energy. I even thought it was like my best coaching effort that I had over that year. And I remember playing and there was, working with these kids. And, they struggled in the beginning, they struggled, but they really developed over the time working with them. And I remember towards the end of the season, I was getting burnt out, but I was like, oh man, my family's in Europe. Like I'm about to have my second child. My family's in Europe and I'm here going in between, staying for 6 to 8 weeks and then going back to Europe for a week. And, it was that kind of stress. So I remember one of the coaches who coached a Caribbean brother. He looked at me and said, "You're working so hard. You're giving everything." He said, "But Kev, it's not really for anything." He's like, "These people really don't care." That's the first thing he said. He said, "They don't care." He's like, and he said, "You know what I learned? Make my money, keep my mouth shut, and keep it moving."
Hmm.
A coach told me that, who then became a director, and I don't fault him for it. I don't fault him at all for it.
Yeah.
But like what we were saying, ecosystem, energy, just on that small level, it let me real
But it's the incentives in the system that led him to that.
to yeah, which is the truth. And I don't even fault him for it. He just told me the truth. He's like, Kath, you are doing too much. You will not get other than you
You will
put
not be
your
rewarded. You won't be
you would not be rewarded. Hmm.
but Kev, like, and again, I know you know this, but for the audience, it is the incentives in the system, in the way the system is designed, that force that gentleman towards that posture, because it is true.
Hmm.
The system that we have forces youth clubs, I presume it was a youth club, right? Forces youth clubs into pay to play, into very big pay to play, and forces youth clubs to then, now the parent is your customer. So treat them like a transaction, treat them like a customer. So it's not about player development or any of those sorts of things. It's about appeasing the parents one way or the other. Even if you have to not tell them the entire truth, then you don't tell them the entire truth, because if you tell them the entire truth, they might get offended, or they might not like what they hear, and they might, leave the club, and that's money that's leaving the club. And the director knocks on your door. Hey, why are you losing players? And that's your job that's at risk there. So what does a coach naturally do is try not to rock the boat. And if you want to have a standard of excellence, then almost by definition, that is rocking the boat, because almost by definition, again,
Yep.
being average or mediocre and not pushing for anything above that is stable. Excellence is not stability. Excellence is unstable, and it's a super fragile ride. So if you strive for excellence, you're going into turbulent waters, my friend. And you probably will not have the support of the people who hired you, because you're creating turbulent waters, and then your job is at risk at that point.
Yeah.
So what does everybody do? Everybody is naturally forced to the middle and just be mediocre. And that includes, obviously, if you're the coach, or if you're the club and you have that posture, that goes downstream to the coaches, which goes downstream to the parents. Not the parents, the
Yeah.
players. Goes downstream
The
to the
players.
players. So we create mediocre players. But again, it's all because of the incentives in the system that the youth clubs operate this way. And the incentives in the system are a consequence of not having an open ecosystem, aka promotion and relegation. Because if you have promotion and relegation, these youth clubs, many, if not most of them, would have adult teams somewhere in the pyramid, maybe in the 10th division of the pyramid, Kephern. Who knows? The lowest of low, it doesn't matter, lowest of low. But there is now an incentive more towards excellence, because there's a hope or a probability or possibility of promotion. And with promotion, that increases the health of your business in many respects. But it doesn't exist, Kev. And so that is what we're stuck with. Let's transition back to, if you don't mind,